Good afternoon, Timmy Talks, and I hope you're all well. Now, what does it mean to be British? It means lots of things. For me, it means a sense of fair play and politeness and just manners and a way of doing things, and an identity of being part of the United Kingdom, British Isles, whatever you want to call it. I was driving through Dover last night and there was a big poster up and it said the army is now recruiting. Of course it is. They've pared the armed forces to the bone for decades, hoping everything's going to be fine. It used to be a great working class escape joining the armed forces, for good or bad. I could never join the armed forces because I'm a coward, but it would get you out of your situation. If you were living somewhere with no future, bearing in mind it's like a different world then, you could get out of your town, leave your family, get paid, go around the world, have experiences, be gratefully received most places in the world and respected when you came home. They were fighting for their family, they were fighting for the identity of the nation, they were fighting for, on the whole, very, very good and noble reasons. But now who would you be fighting for? You fight very well for your family, but you leave your family and leave them surrounded by people who hate us. People who've come to Great Britain hating us, but want everything it's got. With no sense of identity, with no strong belief system, everyone out for what they can get. And now they're struggling to recruit in the armed forces because what 16, 17-year-old person's going to think, oh, I could go around the world and have a look at things, might get killed, or I'll stay here and play Xbox, claiming my anxiety disability allowance. That's what people do. The last few adverts I've seen for the army on the television, there was one that was all going through some bracken with their guns, and then they all stopped because one of them was a follower of a certain faith. He needed to have a little pray. I don't really think war stops so everyone can have a little pray, does it? You can probably pray strongly while you're fighting, but I don't think everyone would stop and let you have a little do of it. Whereas America's army recruitment poster, great big blokes, all weightlifting, with the caption, "Join the army, strong men are harder to kill." It's like light and day, isn't it? We have got the most virtue signalling nonsense you could ever imagine. Every single person is waving a separate flag. Go under one big flag, become part of one society, one unity. I would love to live in a world where there's no war, but that's never going to happen. And specifically what's going on at the moment, we own an Air Force base, run an Air Force base in Cyprus. The people of Cyprus probably thought at the back of their mind, oh, the British are here, thinking how we were like 60, 70 years ago, we'll be quite safe. Our ship is not leaving Portsmouth anytime soon. It won't get there for a fortnight. Hopefully all the troubles will be over in a fortnight. I don't think they will, but fingers crossed. So the only place that we needed to defend in all of the Mediterranean, we're not even there. I think we let the people of Cyprus down, and the government's let the brave people on in the Navy down. And then following the last thing I saw on the news about the ship not getting to Cyprus for 2 weeks, candlelit vigils all over London, outside certain religious establishments, for the person that the entire war, this one, current one, was put in to remove. So they've removed the supreme leader of Iran, and that is people all over London waving Iranian flags, not living in Iran, but having the flags, holding up pictures of the, I'm led to believe, despotic tyrant, and having candlelit vigils. So there you go, in a nutshell. Would you please join the armed forces to go over and kill people who people in your own country are going to light candles for because they miss? Ridiculous. Can you imagine it in like the 1945 when news of Hitler's death, or alleged death, came out? If people all over London started lighting candles saying, oh, we miss you, Mr. Hitler, a great leader, how would that have been dealt with in the 40s? Swiftly, and rightly so. Anyway, so here we are. No one knows who we are, no one knows what they're fighting for, so they can't get people to fight for things they don't know. You get more for doing nothing than you do if you're part of society proper. And you seem to be circling the drain very quickly. As the President said about Keir Starmer, We're not dealing with Winston Churchill, are we? Never a truer word spoken. So today's song will be In the Navy by the Village People, because that's where the armed forces are going. Lots of diverse characters in different outfits. Right, see you tomorrow, Timmy Talkers. Bye-bye.